My brothers and sisters, the word of the Lord today is it was your choice, not God's choice. It was your choice, not God's choice. There's so many decisions and things that people have made independent of God. You've just done some things outside of God's will. You've done some things besides, in spite of God's warnings, in spite of the things that He's presented and shown you. And now, when everything is, stuff is hot, things are on fire, things are falling apart, things are not going the way you expected it to, or not progressing the way that you expected it to, now you're calling on God to come in and save you. And a lot of times people complain. They're doing some things, and the bottom line is, listen, it was your choice. Whatever it was, you didn't seek God about it. You did things, despite God's warning. You did things because you felt like it. You did what tickled your flesh. And so you have to realize that sometimes your challenges and the things that you're going through and your setbacks, my brothers and sisters, every trial and situation that you're going through, you're not always meant to go through them. Some trials and situations, my brothers and sisters, are things that you created. It was never a part of God's intent for you. Now we can say all our steps are ordered by the Lord, yes. But these are the divine steps of God. They're steps that God says for you to go to the right. But listen, based on your feelings, based on the fact that, listen, this is taking too long, based on the fact that he or she's too fine to give up, based on the fact that you may think, you know what, I'm too my age, I'm not getting any younger. Based on that, instead of following the path that he's directed for you to go right, you decided to make your own choice and go left. Now the thing about God is he is all-knowing, so even when you make this choice, he can still redeem you and save you on this path. But sometimes, my brothers and sisters, you're not going to be able to keep the things that you want to keep from when you went right. Sometimes God's going to just pull you all together. And now sometimes if he's going to make the situation that you decide to do your own thing, he'll make it work out for you in some cases, my brothers and sisters. What's going to happen is you still going to go through, listen, the obstacle course that comes with it. You're going to go through the processing that comes with it. And that may come with your some delays, hurts, pains, setback, because you decided, let's just say, for example, there's a man or woman that you're supposed to be with, but this was not the right time. You just had to have him or her no matter what. I'm just giving you one example, okay? Well, okay, this person was supposed to be your husband, but you weren't supposed to be with them just now. So now you're going through all the hell stages with them as God is continuing to prune them and process them and make them. You're going through the whole package. You're going through the whole process with them. Listen, I love shoes, okay? I really like shoes. And I could look at... I could look at a pair of heels and think how beautiful they are. I have one pair that's in there I just love. They are like a beautiful blue color, and they have, little jewels on them. They're gorgeous, right? And now when I bought it, I got it in the end state. But what did that shoe look like before? Would I wanted to wear it when it was still just, I don't even know how they do these shoes. Whatever its most plainest and beginning phases of the shoe before they had heels on it. Would I want to be wearing the shoe while they're putting those little, I know they got some type of little tacks and things or staples, some industrial type things to keep the sole on. Would I want to be wearing just the first forms of the shoe and going through the coloring and the dyeing process? Would I want that on my feet? Would I want them to be putting the tacks in and all those things that keeps the sole to the shoe and put the heel on, and the pounding and the hitting that takes place and putting on the non-slip sole and putting on the very tip of the heel? Would I want to be wearing that shoe, putting it on during its beginning phases? No, I wouldn't want that. Okay, as a matter of fact, even though I get to enjoy it and it's all pretty, I don't really think I should have gone through the process of sitting there with a shell of it on while the carpenter or the shoemaker and the designers are not a carpenter? Not a carpenter, but while the designers and all those stuff, should I go through the process and keep the whatever it is, the slip-on part of it on my feet until they get the perfect shoe? I know I gave you this long drawn out process, but no, I want the finished product. So some of you were supposed to wait and just get the finished product of that man or woman if they were for you. But a lot of times you end up you took them as is, and now you're going through all this stuff with them. You going through all their habits, and you going through the things that their strongholds that God wanted you to wait until he purged them of it. You go through hell with that person. And then you go, Lord, why? Why, Lord, why? Well, it was your choice. It was not God's choice. So this is something the Lord has placed in my spirit to say to you. Sometimes the things that you're going through was because it was your choice and not God's choice. And then a lot of times people have the audacity. I've been guilty of it too in my own stages in my life at some point. When stuff ain't going right, then we want to question God and, Lord, can't you turn this bandit into a man of God? Lord, can't you turn, Miss Hot in the tail right here, can't you make her just a woman of God? Well, he could, but guess what? There's something that's a problem here. That person has choice, and if that person don't want to do it, they're not going to do it. Sometimes you made the wrong choices in business investments, and then guess what? You're like, oh Lord, what am I going to do? Well, the thing is, God told you that, listen, you need to wait on this, and you went that way and you did it. Okay, God would tell you, listen, this is not the job for you, and you took the job anyway and went that way. Okay, God can tell you, listen, this is not the house that you should buy. And guess what? It looks so good, Lord. It has almost everything I want and on, and it's high. But you think of, oh, I should be able to make it between our income. We should be able to come up, but you haven't thought of all the other stuff that's going to come up. Okay, and a lot of times just our own walk, what we do in our everyday life, my brothers and sisters, you're making choices outside of the Lord. So the Lord is calling you back to surrender. A lot of times people don't want to surrender because you want to make yourself your own God, but you got to understand, surrender and submission. When it comes, people just have such a problem with this. But listen, we are suspended in nothing by a God that we should have no problem surrendering to, because in all things he has our best interests at heart. So my brothers and sisters, you got to come on in. It's time for you to ask the Lord to forgive you. You have to ask the Lord to show you the way that you need to go. Sometimes, my brothers and sisters, these relationships, they're going to end, or they ended. The person left. And now you're going, oh, why? Or listen, the house is going up for foreclosure. You can't keep up the payment. You in this nice house, boiling potatoes every day because you can't afford it. You didn't think of other things. You didn't think of, how much your property taxes are. You didn't think about your HOA fees. You didn't think about, just your electric bill. You didn't think about when things broke down in the house that you're going to have to pay it. You understand that you got to buy yourself a new refrigerator. You have to pay for whoever to come out and service that refrigerator and service whatever goes wrong in your house. There is no landlord, nobody that's coming in, and you did not calculate all those things because you want to look good, that you're in this gated community on top of the hill doing all that, but you boiling potatoes with butter, maybe some Lori seasoning. So I hear God saying, a lot of things that you're wailing about and you're ailing about and you're complaining about and you're getting mad about, God is saying you made your own choices. This is a result of your own choice, not mine. So let's get back to basics with our Heavenly Father. Seek him. Let him guide you and direct you and put you on the right path. This is the word of the Lord today.